Could you have imagined that this would happen?
I mean, at 16, oof, I would have.
Have you ever felt pressured to be in a relationship just because everyone around you is? What if I told you an Olympic gold medalist at just 20 years old says she doesn't need romance right now because she already has enough love in her life? Yes, Alysa Liu, the two-time Olympic gold medalist, just opened up about her love life, and her answer is surprising, powerful, and deeply inspiring. Today, we're talking about self-love, high standards, creativity, and why she says she's not looking for a relationship. Stay with me until the end because her story might completely change how you look at love and success. In a recent interview with Cosmopolitan, Alyssa shared something refreshingly honest. She said she has so much love in her life already, and she hasn't felt the need to look for more or look elsewhere. She admitted this was the first time she had talked publicly about her dating life. She explained that she truly loves herself, she has amazing people around her, and her standards are quite high. Think about that for a moment. At 20 years old, instead of chasing attention or rushing into a relationship, she is choosing herself. Let me ask you something. Do you think society pressures young women, especially celebrities, to always be dating someone? Is it okay to stay single and focus on yourself? Alyssa's story becomes even more inspiring when you look at her journey. She stepped away from competitive skating at just 16 years old. Many people thought that might be the end of her career. But at 18, she made her own decision to return. And at the 2026 Winter Olympics, she won 2 gold medals. Her victory was historic. She became the first U.S. female figure skater to win Olympic gold since 2002. That's not just talent, that's courage, that's self-belief. In an interview with 60 Minutes, Alyssa revealed something even more powerful. This time, her comeback was different. She said she chooses her own program music. She helps shape the creative direction of her routines. If she feels like she's skating too much, she slows down. If she feels like she's not skating enough, she pushes harder. And one statement truly stood out. She said that no one is going to starve her or tell her what she can and can't eat. That speaks volumes. It shows growth. It shows independence. It shows healing. She's not just skating for medals anymore. She's skating on her own terms. In today's world, many young people feel incomplete without a partner. But Alyssa says she already feels full. She loves herself, she values her peace, she respects her standards. And that is powerful. Self-love is not arrogance, it is confidence. Ask yourself honestly, are you looking for love because you truly want it or because you feel like you need it? There's a big difference. Beyond skating, Alyssa is also exploring her creative side. In an interview with E! News, she shared her passion for fashion, storytelling, and expressing herself in different ways. She said she has work she wants to put out into the world. She has ideas. She wants to share her story and her life experiences, and she loves hearing other people's stories too. This is a young woman who understands that she is more than just an athlete. She is building a life, not just a career. Imagine being 20 years old, winning Olympic gold, having the world watching you, and still saying, "I don't need more love, I already have enough." That's maturity, that's self-awareness, that's strength. So what can we learn from her? It's okay to take a break. It's okay to choose yourself. It's okay to have high standards, and it's perfectly okay not to be in a relationship. Success is powerful, but peace is priceless. Before you go, think about this. Do you believe self-love should come before romantic love? Whatever your answer is, one thing is clear. Sometimes the strongest love story is the one you build with yourself.
But there's another side to this story that makes it even more powerful. Winning gold medals and choosing self-love might look glamorous from the outside, but what people often forget is the mental strength it takes to walk away and then come back stronger. When Alysa Liu stepped away from skating at 16, she wasn't quitting because she couldn't do it. She stepped away because she needed space. Space to breathe, space to grow, space to figure out who she was outside of the spotlight. And that takes courage. Many athletes stay because of pressure. Pressure from coaches, pressure from fans, pressure from expectations. But she chose herself over expectations. Now think about that. How many of us continue doing something we're unhappy with just because others expect it from us? Her return at 18 wasn't about proving anyone wrong. It was about proving to herself that she could come back on her own terms. And that's exactly what she did. When she arrived at the 2026 Winter Olympics, she wasn't the same teenage prodigy people remembered. She was calmer, more confident, more in control. You could see it in her performances. There was freedom in her skating. There was joy. There was ownership. She wasn't skating to survive the pressure. She was skating because she wanted to. And that shift from pressure to passion changes everything. She even spoke about having control over her training schedule. If her body feels tired, she listens. If she feels strong, she pushes. That balance is rare in elite sports. For years, young athletes have spoken about strict environments, extreme dieting, overtraining, constant criticism. But Alyssa made it clear that this time, no one controls her choices. She fuels her body properly. She sets boundaries. She respects her limits. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. And maybe that's the real gold medal here. Not just standing on the podium, but standing in your power. Now let's talk about something even deeper. When someone says, "I have enough love in my life," it doesn't just mean friends and family. It means emotional security. It means not chasing validation. It means not confusing attention with affection. Alyssa understands that romantic love should add to your life, not fill a hole. And that mindset protects you, especially in a world where social media constantly makes you feel like you're behind if you're single. But here's the truth. There is no timeline, not for love, not for success, not for happiness. At 20, she's already achieved what many dream of for a lifetime, and yet she's not rushing the next chapter. She's focusing on creativity. She's exploring fashion. She's thinking about storytelling and future projects. She's expanding beyond the ice. Because identity matters. If you only know yourself as one thing, an athlete, a partner, a student, you risk losing yourself when that role changes. But Alyssa is building layers to her identity. Athlete, creator, storyteller, young woman discovering life on her own terms. And that is powerful. So here's something to reflect on. If you removed your job title, your relationship status, your achievements, who are you? Do you love that person? Alysa Liu does. And maybe that's the real reason she shines so brightly on and off the ice. Because confidence built on self-acceptance is unshakable. Her story isn't just about medals. It's about freedom. It's about boundaries. It's about knowing your worth. And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder to all of us that before we search for love in someone else, we should make sure we found it within ourselves.
And now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked when we celebrate success: the effort behind it. Because gold medals don't just appear. They are built. They are earned in silence, long before the world starts clapping. Alysa Liu's journey to Olympic gold wasn't just about talent. Yes, she was gifted. Yes, she was a prodigy. But talent without discipline doesn't survive at the highest level. Behind every flawless jump you saw on Olympic ice were thousands of falls in empty rinks. Behind every graceful spin were hours of repetition until her muscles memorized perfection. Figure skating is one of the most demanding sports in the world. It requires explosive strength, balance, flexibility, endurance, and artistic expression, all at the same time. Imagine training before sunrise. Imagine practicing the same routine again and again, even when your body is sore. Imagine pushing through injuries, exhaustion, and doubt, while the whole world watches your every move. That's effort. When Alyssa stepped away at 16, it wasn't because she couldn't handle hard work. It was because she had already been working at an elite level since childhood. Coming back at 18 meant rebuilding everything. Rebuilding stamina, rebuilding technical precision,
rebuilding mental focus, and most importantly, rebuilding confidence. In elite skating, timing is everything. Even a small break can affect jumps, coordination, and competitive rhythm. But she committed to the process again. Early mornings, strength conditioning, on-ice drills, choreography sessions, mental training, nutrition discipline, recovery routines, every single day. Effort isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's repetitive, sometimes it's lonely. But consistency is what separates champions from dreamers. And Alyssa chose consistency. She didn't just train physically, she trained mentally. Because Olympic pressure is not normal pressure. Millions of people watching, judges analyzing every detail. One small mistake can cost everything. That kind of environment demands emotional control. She had to learn how to stay calm before stepping onto the ice, how to silence self-doubt, how to block out noise, both criticism and praise. That mental resilience is effort too. Then there's the artistic side. People often forget that figure skating isn't just sport, it's performance. Alyssa worked on musical interpretation, facial expression, body language, connecting emotion to movement. When she says she now chooses her own music and helps shape her program, that also means responsibility. Creative control means deeper involvement. It means thinking about storytelling, costume design, theme development, how every second on the ice communicates something. That's not accidental, that's intentional work. And let's not forget the sacrifices. While many teenagers were enjoying a normal high school life, Alyssa was traveling for competitions, training during holidays, missing social events, living with structure and discipline most adults struggle with. Success requires sacrifice. But what makes her story powerful is that this time, the effort came from choice, not pressure. She returned because she wanted to. She trained because she loved it. She pushed herself because she believed in her vision. That changes everything. Effort driven by fear feels heavy. Effort driven by passion feels meaningful. And when passion and discipline combine, greatness becomes possible. So when you see Alysa Liu standing on the podium with 2 gold medals, remember this. You're not just seeing a champion. You're seeing years of silent effort. You're seeing resilience after stepping away. You're seeing discipline, creativity, self-respect, and courage working together. Her success isn't luck. It's layered effort. Physical effort, mental effort, emotional effort, creative effort. And maybe that's the most inspiring part of her story, because it reminds us that greatness isn't about never stopping. It's about choosing to come back and putting in the work again, even stronger than before.